guys, welcome to part 1 of my turbo kit install series. So to start off this series, I want to go over the unboxing slash review initial impressions of the FT86 Motorsports turbo kit. To start off the series, I'm going to be doing an unboxing and initial impressions of all the parts. Firstly, I should note that I don't have the oil cooler yet. I'm still waiting on that, so that'll definitely be taken into consideration. Now with the FT86 Motorsports Turbo Kit, I'm going to be going over quality, fitment, price, shipping, customer service, and performance. And I'm going to be rating them all out of 5 stars. So initially, we're going to be talking about quality. Fitment will have to wait for the next video. Price and shipping will be talked about in this video, as well as customer service. Performance and fitment will be talked about in later videos. I will be trying to get a dyno video in, and that'll run over the performance of the kit. So let's start right away with the crash bar. FT86 Motorsports, as well as Subi Depot. It's all the same dude, or guys, I should say. Ooh, okay. Nice gloss black coating. Let's take a look. This comes with their turbo kit. You can opt for it. You don't have to get it. Okay. Let's look at this thing. First impressions, I mean, from a welder's perspective, let's talk about it. Firstly, welds are okay, but lots of spatter, which could have been easily chipped away at. And there's even some MIG wire still on it. Let's just rip that guy off. Some MIG wire still on it, spatter. Oh, looks strong enough. Paint job is pretty thick. We even have some silica still in the weld. But you can tell it was whipped together fairly quickly. I mean, fairly heavy too. Could be lighter. But what can you say? No warping really on that side. And on this side we have tiny bit of warp from the flange. I'm sure it'll bolt up all fine and dandy. Fair bit of scratches and stuff on it from the shipping. Shipping could have been a little better. There's only like two of these guys in there. Overall though, for the price range, I get it. I don't think it's going to save any weight from the stock one. I'd say that's like, I don't know, 25 pounds probably. Check the box. Yeah, pretty close. 10 kilograms, so 22 pounds. The stock one's probably the same. Could weigh it even later, but yeah, that's the crash bar. So next up, let's talk about the exhaust components. Alright guys, so this is the FT86 Motorsports Turbo Manifold. This is the unequal length. You can order it in equal length. Let's talk about the design. So all the runners lead into 4-to-1 into the bottom of the turbo, or technically it's the top of the manifold, but your turbo will sit on top with the V-band. FT86 Motorsports uses a V-band setup, which is a lot nicer than a T-flange, and the brackets that come with it are actually pretty high quality. I do like their brackets they include. They look like they were made better than a lot of V-bands I've seen, and they have a nice castle nut on the one side, as well as it's kind of like a hinge to make sure it's nice and tight. I'll actually show you that right now. So this is their V-band setup. As you can see, it sits in the middle there. Got a nice castle nut, and it has a nice hinge design to hold it, tighten it nice. I give this one props. Looks good quality. So let's talk about the weld quality. I'll just get in nice and personal on the welds here. They do look pretty good. There is some undercut on some of them here, and lots of start stops. The fitment from the 4 to the runners could be better on this one. Kind of hard to see, but this runs flush on that side. But they didn't center this V-band very nicely because there's a huge ridge right here. So from a flow perspective, this could be better, a whole lot better. The thickness of the pipe is very thick, and that's a good thing for heat and not warping or having a tinny noise. So that's good. As long as my dyno chart is good, I'll be happy, but honestly, I've seen better, for sure. As you can see the weld in here. That's pretty sharp edge there. Just from a flow perspective, that's not very good. These headers could be a lot better. Welds are okay. They're good, but there's some spots that I'm not particularly fond of. Like right here, it's a good example. It's a little bit of a pinhole there. Hopefully that's sealed. If not, that's a really good spot for a crack. I'm just curious to see how they turn out on the dyno. And longevity wise, I'll include this in my quality review of the kit at the end. So let's talk about the downpipe. Initial impressions are good. This is more typical of what you'd see as for exhaust components, this type of tubing. It's a little thinner, and it's got that brushed look to it. This piece transitions a lot better, so like there's no hard ridges on this one. Like the fitment isn't perfect, like you can see right there, this little lip, and then the lip on this side. And then, yeah, this one's definitely not perfect either. The logo's really cool. Flange is nice and thick. But, again, the fitment should be a little better. It kind of looks like this piece was rushed, not gonna lie. This one, from a flow perspective, is probably a lot better than the headers. So I'm not too worried about this one being all funky. But I will say there's a couple things I didn't like about it. One of them being, you can see they didn't even take the time to like blow out the exhaust pipe. There's still like shavings and everything in there. They could have just run a, compressed air through there to get all those shavings out. You can see them in here too. I don't know. And then on the bung side, there's like flakes. This will all go down the exhaust, so it's not like it's gonna damage anything, but just like, quality inspection. Overall though, this piece is pretty nice. Looks like it would flow good. And I'm not too sure on the fitment. We'll talk about the fitment at a later time when all the pieces are on the car. Most people Cerakote their downpipes and stuff, but I wanted to see the quality of the welds. If they're good, you shouldn't really have a problem. So we'll see. I don't know, for the price it's good. The nice thing about FT86 Motorsports is you can select from various options for turbos. I selected their base kit option, which is the GT86 RS. This turbo is optimal for the engine we have in our cars. It spools really quickly, but it is relatively small. This one is a V-band. And as you can see, they have two V-bands on here because I opted out for the 3-inch downpipe instead of the 2.5. So they had to weld this. The transition in here is what I would expect from the exhaust components. It's very smooth and there's no ridges. I'd hope that would be the case on this turbo. Could be better. Like that one there is, that's just wrong, guys. We should have filled that in. Definitely should have filled that in. A little bit missing there. Overall, I'm sure it'll hold, but I don't know. I'm pretty finicky when it comes to that because this gets super, super, super hot. The welds on the V-band on the exhaust side are very good. There's nothing really wrong with these ones. Yeah, overall, Could be better, could be worse, but that's pretty upsetting. Like, kind of looks like a Friday job. But again, we'll see how it does on the dyno, performance-wise, and if it holds up longevity-wise. So this is the intercooler. Looks like it came a little damaged. Welds are nice on it. Looks like it was damaged in the box, fortunately. Nothing really bad to say about the welds, but yeah, like right here, shipping definitely took a number on this thing. Look at that, it's all bent, damaged pretty good here. Alright, moving on to various parts that come with the kit. It does come with some nice, pretty thick header gaskets from Grimspeed. Lots of little bolts and washers. Gaskets. Comes with an Omni 3-bar map sensor, all the little vibrant fittings, T-fitting for like your boost controller. Comes with turbo smart parts, little blow-off valve. Pretty nice piece actually. So this piece here, V-band goes for the dump tube. So let's get right into the dump tube. Welds are good on it. Nothing to complain about on the welds. But it's kind of a boring design. I wish they would have like cut out on an angle or something fun. And the cut isn't exactly square, but it's just a dump tube. You can easily, welds are good on it. Looks like they polished the whole thing. Nothing to really say bad about this one. All the inside of the pipe is all smooth. As you can see here, this is, I believe this goes to the intercooler. It's a Gretty pipe made out of cast aluminum. They definitely stole that from the Gretty turbo kit. Next, let's talk about the oil pan. It's a stock oil pan. It's painted pretty nice. Comes with two oil pickup washers, gasket washers, I guess you could call them. And then the AN fitting, which is a good job. Good job on that one. The couplers that come with it are all, there's 4 fiber layers in there. Pretty flexible, nice. Good couplers, I guess you could call them. This is the intake where the Omni map sensor goes. Welds are pretty good on it. Nice and polished. Nothing to really say bad about it. Looks like they smoothed out some of the insides where the weld got too far. Nothing really said bad about that. Alright guys, so let's talk about the shipping. Firstly, as you saw from the intercooler, there was some damage on it. The crash bar video, you could see there was very little packaging to stop it from scratching and bouncing around. And yeah, the intercooler was fairly damaged. Kind of a long wait. I'd say almost 2.5 months actually before I received the kit, and that's not even fully complete. I'm still waiting for my oil cooler. Apparently the water lines they're waiting on. If you're gonna order this kit, I recommend ordering in the winter time. Let's say, you know, winter just hit and you want to put a turbo kit on before the summer, next spring, summertime would be a good time to buy the kit. It gives them a very long time to get you your parts. For me, the shipping time is too long, and a reason for that, I believe, is they're made to order. So I'm going to give them a 3 out of 5 for that, because it was damaged and it took a very long time. Next, let's talk about customer service. I was told I would get my full kit by mid-May, and I didn't get, I got a partial kit by the end of May. So they kind of like, you know, got my hopes up. I'm going to give them a 4 out of 5, and that's being generous, I feel, because a lot of people have had some bad experiences with them. Mine haven't been terrible, but they could be better. So I'm not going to give them 5 out of 5. So JDL kit will run you around 4,500 American to $5 grand. They might even be more expensive now, which in Canadian dollars is quite a lot. JDL kit will be higher quality, 100% higher quality. I feel like the headers would be better quality. I haven't seen any JDL kits in person, but I feel like they wouldn't be rushed and they wouldn't have any of the weld defects or anything like that like I saw on my kit. The JDL kit is very expensive compared to this one. With this kit, you get everything you need, minus the tune, obviously. Like, they include the oil pan, the crash bar. You can pick between the turbos. They're all V-band, which makes it easier for installation. The crash bar you can choose with or without a coating. I chose a coating on mine, which I don't believe will rust. It is a little bit on the heavy side, but that's fine. Yeah, you get a lot of grace. I think I paid all in. I paid around $5,700 Canadian, and that got me. So yeah, the air oil separator from Crawford, as well as my oil cooler, and all that plus the turbo kit, crash bar, oil pan, was $5,700 Canadian. So for price, I'm gonna give them a 5 out of 5. I don't think you can beat that. So as you could see from my videos, I kind of nitpicked quite a bit there, but I feel like they could have done better on a lot of the welding and fitment on all the parts. I was kind of unhappy with the headers, and the downpipe could be better. There's just areas that could potentially cause some issues down the road, even if I would have Cerakoted them or coated them in anything. A weld cracker crater is a weld cracker crater. There were no weld cracks, but there was pits, which can potentially turn into cracks, and that's the weakest point. So for quality, I'm going to give them a 3.8 out of 5, and that I feel like that's fair. Okay, if fitment is good and I get good performance, I feel like this is a walk in the park for as far as bang for buck. But up until this point, I have to be fair and honest on what I'm finding, and there's room for improvement for sure. So yeah, 3.8 out of 5 for quality. Fitment we can't check until a later date. Price 5 out of 5 for sure. Shipping 3 out of 5. Customer service 3.5 out of 5 is what I initially did, but I'm gonna give them a 4 out of 5. So stay tuned for the later videos. I hope I didn't bore you to death, but if you're looking at purchasing this kit, I'm being very honest with what I'm finding. And if you continue to watch the videos, it may or may not make or break you purchasing the same kit. So thanks for watching my video, and stay tuned.